For those of you who are very ignorant and shallow, and you don't understand why martial arts comes from Africa, why religion comes from Africa, I'm going to explain this to you in a way that has to do with mental health, in a way that even if you're a child, you'll know for sure that I'm telling the truth. So the news at times tells the truth, obviously. And one of the things they have been telling the truth about is that people have been acting weird. Okay, kind of like emos and goths, but across the board. People wear suits and try to look good. They also look weird. Why? Well, people suffer from something similar to a collective psychosis and a collective schizophrenia. Bear with me, bear with me. What is the gene for schizophrenia? Well, it's something that needs to be triggered, right? Psychologists and psychiatrists talk about triggers. And it's triggered often by fear. That's why they talk about trauma-based mind control. Trauma triggering split personalities. People are not me. They're not the top martial artists. They're just fragile guys. Some guys lift a lot of weights. Some guys are cops. They lift a lot of weights and they try to act bad. If you lift a lot of weights over, 6, 7, 8 years and you learn to shoot a gun, it doesn't mean that you're mentally tough. It just means you're physically strong and you're good at shooting a gun and you learn police tactics. This is neither here nor there. The cops are not immune from this collective schizophrenia that people are suffering from. Okay, so how do we know that it's something like schizophrenia? One, they're disassociating from reality, right? What is normal? Normal is an anagram for the letter N and moral. If you're not moral, then you're not sane. Bear with me. For example, if you say that you're going to stand firm for your right to rape and eat children, okay, are you moral? And if you speak on it like it's moral, no. When the Nazis argued that white people are superior, which has been proven false, okay, and they argue that they're going to fight to the death for their right to be in charge of the world, were they moral and sane? No. Same thing with the government. When they pretend they're moral and they pass immoral laws and so on and so forth and argue that it's right. People use Donald Trump, as any politician will do. Okay? They're not sane. They're in the repetition of disassociation. Now, there is a difference between being an actor, but it's not that big of a difference as you might think, and being crazy. The actor is purposely trying to make themselves somewhat crazy to play a part. They're disassociating from reality in what is supposed to be a controlled manner. But nonetheless, they're in a repetition, and it affects their life in the long term. Look at Robin Williams, right? He killed himself, right? Look at David Carradine. He's said to have hung himself while trying to enhance a masturbation session. Excuse my, my French, whatever you want to call it, but this is important. Okay, these people are fucking nutty because then they're in the repetition of not being themselves. Look at Lady Gaga. Look at any actor. Look at how they act in their interviews. They're oddballs. They're nerdy. And nerds, according to their own encyclopedia and dictionaries, is described as a foolish and contemptible person. Okay, so who's in the repetition of being foolish, if not someone who's disassociated from reality? It is reality that tells you to have sense. Being sane, having sense, and having morals are connected. If you pretend that focused moral intensity from a martial artist isn't a higher form of morality than someone just trying to be good, then you are fucking in the repetition of disassociation. You're disassociating from truth and how one should behave. The same way to behave is moral, especially when there's no viable counter argument for what came first, if not God, and why did things turn out this particular way? Why is there justice and animals have some kind of sense of justice? Why did the principles of being a human being exist that would allow for a human being to exist before humans did, which allowed for humans to come into existence? Why does fruit like oranges and bananas have a skin that you can peel off? How did people know how to peel off that skin and eat it? Okay, this is nature guided them to that. But that's a story for another day. So you can even withdraw everything that I said that has religious connotations, and you'll still get the irrefutable bottom line mental health truth that people have disassociated from reality. Morality, more reality. They have not accepted a moral order. And as they followed that train of thought to its finish, it led them to 2022, where people are acting like fucking bitches, clowns, and fools. Now, I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. The word parody, which is kind of what's going on. Some people are purposely acting like clowns, but they're still in the repetition of disassociation, which separates them from reality. There's no way around it. Playing stupid is stupid. Disassociating and taking on an alter ego is fucking retarded. They say destroy your ego. It says destroy reality in your mind and disassociate. It's stupid. The word parody is a play on words for why do rape. Okay? Why do people act like clowns? Well, look at porn. They turn out women in a way that no woman with sense would partake in. They're obviously crazy when they do porn. Just because it feels good and you brag to your friends doesn't mean what you're doing isn't crazy. And when you keep doing it and you don't repent, it's insane. Or you repent, you fake repent and you take on white supremacist philosophies that are allowed by this corrupt country, for example. You see what I'm saying? Porn is also a play on words for and rape. And rope and ripe and rape. Vowel, L, interchangeable vowels. Parody, rap, is also a play on words for rape. That's why it calls gang bang, gang rape, etc. Okay? But not every gang member there ever was aware of this, so on and so forth. So it gets a bit complicated, but it's not that complicated. Parody. Scramble the letters, anagram. Why do rap? Why do rape? Why odd rape? Because when you rape someone, and there's many rape kits that aren't processed, and they are odd, or they have some kind of brain damage, or they disassociate, and their story doesn't add up, it's easier to get away with it. That's one of many reasons why people are acting like clowns. Also, people take things less seriously, and they're less likely to rise up and face you, and there's other reasons as well. I urge you all to write down the reasons on a piece of paper, because as you come up with it, instead of me telling you, you'll know for sure, as your brain wraps around it, that I'm right. Thank you.